It's FaZe Banks.
Damn, finally.
I think you influenced Mike to say bad things about me.
Have I ever said anything bad about this man?
You know what? F you, yes. I would say, oh, I love Logan. You would say, oh, he killed that guy. Like,
That's a joke. I'd ordered 3 boxes of Krispy Kreme donuts and I was walking her out to her Uber. She fucking booted the donuts. And Mike's like, the donuts, Alyssa, come on.
My ex-girlfriend's buddy. Is it my kid? No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. What do you guys think will happen between now and this episode airing? Like, should we take a stab at the banter pre-Banks coming on right now?
Hold on a second. Are you trying to predict the future?
Yes. No, but do you want to try this?
What like talk about stuff we think is gonna happen?
Bro, it's crazy what Elon and Kanye both did this past week.
The collab that they did, which was what was it? They did the
rap, the first hip hop song.
First hip hop. So Elon Musk spit his first verse on it.
It wasn't half bad.
Yeah, he was.
This doesn't seem likely. This can't happen.
It can't happen. I was gonna ask, do you have chapstick? But as soon as I thought about saying it,
yeah,
I thought I would never want my lips to be on your chapstick.
That's not what you said about my last night.
Oh my goodness! Not even a minute in, huh? Not even a minute in.
I'm
talking about.
Here for the smoke, boys.
Oh my god, bro!
Spit everywhere.
By the way, you still have to pay me for that blowjob.
How much? And how will I pay you?
Cash App. Why would you sponsor this show? Why would you sponsor this show? I'm just kidding.
We get a call from their marketing team. They're like,
hey,
regarding like this payment for sexual activities, we're actually gonna not do that.
When a call starts with hey. Or yeah.
Yes. So
you know it's not good. Say something.
No, I'm loving this banter. I didn't want to interrupt this one.
Oh, you know what's crazy, dude? That you know what? That whole experience we had in Connecticut for Thanksgiving.
Oh man, you gonna predict the future here?
Dude, what we did at that high school, at my high school, bro, that was crazy, bro.
Yeah, we got those football players hyped up to
all
go
riled up to
play
go
their rival.
And they ended up
winning 41 to 27. That's crazy.
If that happens, this will be this is the greatest show of all time.
We should place a bet on it and do it on the Barstool Sportsbook. And also on the Barstool Sportsbook, this is not an ad, is a money line that we had to decide if our guest would show up today. we had a money line on it, and
now he's gone.
And he's gone. And he's fucking gone.
This is can we really take a proper moment to internally collect about the importance of this? I have tried to get this man on this show so many fucking times.
Yeah.
We have had production teams come out, setups done, locations, everything done to have him do what he does and what everyone knows him to do, which is go out the entire night before, go crazy in a way that only he can, and not show up for the episode. Well, today he showed up.
He's here. I can't believe it. He's here after all these years. We finally got him. And not only did he show up, man showed up 30 minutes early. He showed up on our last episode. So without further ado, wait, I got a good one. Our guest today is finally joining us for his own episode. He is one of the founding members of FaZe Clan and alternates with me as being Mike's best friend, pending who can elevate his clout more at the moment. It's FaZe Banks.
Damn, finally.
Just unbelievable.
I can't believe this, bro.
And I'm drinking Prime.
Unbelievable. You can we be honest, bro? Because I appreciate you.
I put my iced coffee in it.
He put iced coffee in it. He wants to help the brand. Hey, how's that?
It's good.
Could it be better?
No, it's fine.
Because I want to make this comfortable for you.
This is great. This is super comfortable.
Make sure you get close to that mic, buddy. You know how this works.
We're here.
Okay.
We're there. Hi.
Hey, man.
Hey, man.
Hey.
Yo, this is great.
I'm excited.
Where do we even start?
Am I the most elusive guest of all time?
100%.
Really?
100%.
For sure.
I do want to say I apologize, and it isn't beyond me how special it is to be here. I appreciate it. You guys are crushing it, and I'm happy to be here. And I'm sorry. You guys try to get me to come in Miami, right?
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
I missed the fucking Super Bowl in Miami 2 years ago. Miami is not the place. And then where else? I don't know. This is like our 5th shot.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, we're here.
Miami is not a kind city to you. We've had a lot of trouble in that city.
I really went out of my way too this time around. I wore the Generation X shirt for you. I wore these pants for George.
Yep.
Oh, I
What'd you wear
appreciate
for me?
that. Thank you.
Nothing. You get nothing.
Do you like Mike?
I love Mike.
Yeah.
I love Mike. Mike for me has always kind of represented and just felt like a little piece of home. You know,
Uh-huh.
Mike's like a kid who I would have been friends with in high school, and like I don't know.
You guys look like you'd be friends in high school.
Done drugs.
You look like the guy he bought the drugs from.
Yeah.
No, we are the East Coast. We are the East Coast scumbags. We are. You know,
I love Mike. Do you like Mike?
Oh yeah, I love Mike.
Be honest.
I love him. I love him. I love him. He's the big brother I never had, so I get to fuck with him. Like for the first time in my life, I get to feel what it's like to be a younger brother. And I don't know why my brother doesn't take advantage of it, because you can be a fucking little prick. But
like
still-
David is to me.
Yes, exactly. But he still has to love you because he's your older bro. Yeah, I love him. And it's funny because we don't compete, but I find when Mike's not spending time with me, he's with you.
yeah.
When he's not with you,
I haven't seen him for a while,
It's been
so
a
you
while,
guys.
yeah. Well,
I've commandeered his house, and he has to make sure we don't destroy it completely.
Have you been to his house?
Mike must be Mike. I actually haven't
Oh,
visited
God.
the house yet, and it's probably for the best. Got to be the worst homeowner of all time,
the worst?
Facts,
He's
right?
so bad.
dude. Your shoes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
He's
I
got
already
a
know.
hey. He's got a rule for everything, and I questioned him about one of them
worst.
because I can tell he makes them up on the spot. Like me and Nina, of course, we're sitting on the edge of a couch, and he goes, "Well, just not two people on the same side of the." And I go, "Okay, so
on the back of it.
but did you know that was a
Does he
rule?"
have plastic wrapped? Like you
Yeah. The chairs are still plastic wrapped. No, he makes it up in real time, which is how you know you got a real Karen on your hands.
Hey, well, this
worst.
show today is
He's
not
gonna be
about
the
me,
worst.
guys,
He's gonna
you
be the
know?
worst dad ever.
No, the worst.
The worst.
Take that back.
You-
That one I will not roll with. I am a dad to all of you. I am the dad.
You're gonna be a good dad in some regards, terrible in others.
Speaking of
It's fine.
dads, there's only one person that likes me more than both of you guys.
It's my dad.
No
my
way.
dad- my dad loves Mike.
No
Sends
way.
me everything that he does. Did you see what Mike did? This and that. Yeah. my
Read
dad
the
loves
Fifth
him.
Idol.
My dad likes you a lot too.
Yeah.
I'd like to meet him one day.
He's the goat.
Listen, when you came on this podcast, you sat down and you used the word elusive, and I mean you are elusive, and you're a bit of an enigma, I think, truthfully. So like, if for people who maybe aren't familiar with you who are watching this podcast, because you've had a pretty wild career, and your personality has taken you so fucking far. Like your Instagram bio, or it might be your Twitter bio, is like. What a kid making videos online, dumb shit, like
Yeah.
who made it way further than anyone thought he could.
Kid who was supposed to be a loser who fucked around on the internet, made a life for himself.
It
That's
happened.
really how I feel about the whole situation.
How would you describe what you do, your career, who you
so
are?
this podcast. What are we gonna run? An hour and a half,
Bro, I mean, it
probably?
could be who-
This, as far as time goes, will probably be the most time I've spent on YouTube in years, 2-3 years maybe. Bring the word elusive back up. I've kind of avoided being in content and in front of the camera for some time, just for no other reason than it stopped being fun for me. My last video was the Tfue video, Dear Tfue.
Oh
It
my
has
God.
11, 12 million views on it. Was very well received. Kind of in a lot of ways helped save my fucking company and brand at the time. And yeah, I don't know. That was kind of the last nail in the coffin for me, where it was just like, this YouTube shit is fucking, it's just not for me. It stopped being fun. I don't know.
You didn't think about evolving the content. I mean, obviously we all had a short run as streamers
Yeah.
back at the content house, which
Yeah.
we'll get into a little bit later. But
Well, streaming's a whole different beast. I mean,
For
you've
sure.
tried to tap into that too. If you want to be a successful streamer, that also too, if I'm going to do something, I want to do it fucking absolutely right. I'm an on or off kind of person when it comes to anything.
Yeah.
Friendship, love, work, everything. If I'm doing it 1000%, or I'm not doing it at all. That's just how I am. Streaming, you have to fucking grind that every day,
Every day.
all day,
Yeah.
10 hours a day. If you want any shot at being, an Aiden Ross or a Ludwig or fucking Hassan, if you want to be with those guys, you got to fucking, and that's just, I don't know, seems like an even more vicious battle than the YouTube shit is. Cause YouTube's easy-ish. You know what I mean?
Hey, don't tell that to Mike, man.
Yeah.
He slaves
Oh,
over his
he
weekly
knows.
video.
He knows.
Yeah.
But let me say this. My weekly videos have a lot of input into them. They're not as simple as just like, a random conversation.
Yeah.
I'm in 3 different countries or cities, and there's
Yeah.
a lot that goes into them. But the streaming thing is crazy, and it's been wild to watch that space take off. George now is trying his hand on it. I think everyone in the Impulsive team is giving it a shot.
I'm only trying it because it really isn't. I'm not getting on the platform to be the biggest on the platform. And I've honestly never joined any platform for that. I take away what I could take away from it. And being live and sharp and alert that there's people watching me in the moment, I feel it will help me in stand-up. But dude, I fell in love with Twitch, bro.
Yeah.
I love it so far. I mean, I love the community. I love that. Like, I have a good, like, it's not crazy.
That part of it scares the shit out of me personally.
The live part?
That's another thing. The live.
Oh, that was one of the reasons why
I would need like a kill button,
Yes.
and I'd probably use it for every stream at some point.
That's one of the reasons I don't stream
it's
anymore.
scary.
It is horrifying.
It is.
It's
I remember being in Cabo. The anxiety. It's the worst.
It does, and I ask people about this all the time. I even ask Adin about it. I go, are you really ever yourself when you're live? Like, are you ever really 100% your authentic self? Because, you know, like, I ran into some big issues being live. I said some shit that
you streamed like 3 times, Mike. What were the big issues that you ran into?
That's not true. I streamed for a good 6 to 8 months, bro. We
Did
streamed
you?
like 3 times in Cabo, but I was streaming every day when I still
Oh
lived
yeah,
at
you were.
Logan's
I forgot.
house.
Yeah, you were streaming at the Clybourne house
At the
too.
Clybourne house.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just it's you're always just a little bit guarded because of that feeling that anything could happen, you know?
Yeah, scary.
So I find it interesting, though, how you took that YouTube break because of like burnout or whatever. You realize you weren't having fun with it anymore, and I think that's a really vital step for creators to actually take when they're there, because when it starts becoming depressing in a job, it's
awful.
It's gonna shift your entire being.
Well, again, it goes back to the Twitter bio thing and the root of like where I come from. I've been in the game for a minute. FaZe was founded in 2010. I think I made my first YouTube video in 2008 when I was in high school. And this is long before anyone even knew you could make money doing this. Before I even knew I could make money doing this, I was making YouTube videos.
This podcast is brought to you by Cash App. When your personal finance connects you to both your funds and the stuff that matters, that's money. And that's Cash App. You know what else is money?
Going out to eat your dinner with your friends. Me, Logan, Manager Jeff, David, we all went to a nice supper the other night at a place called Nobu in Malibu. It was beautiful. We had every course: sashimi, sushi, tuna, steak, tacos, everything. The bill came at the end of the night. It was a lot of money. It's an expensive place. It was like $1,600. And I said, well, there's 5 of us here at the table. Let's split it 5 ways. Oh, sorry. We can only use 2 cards. Well, that's not as much of a problem for us because we have Cash App. And so one of us paid for it and the rest of us just Cash App that one person. I was the person. My Cash App is Mike Malak. I have a cash tag on
okay,
it.
we get it. But you guys should get it too. Download Cash App. It's the app for sending, spending, saving, investing, splitting, tipping, donating, gifting, or just typing numbers, all with the #1 finance app in the App Store. Basically, what I'm saying is that's money, and that's Cash App. Download Cash App from the App Store or Google Play Store today to create your own cash tag.
We love you, Cash App.
And the first ever video I made, I got an email from Google. And again, where I come from and who I had been up to that point, I had never had more than $100 in my pocket at one time. And if I did have $100 in my pocket, I was the richest fucking kid on the planet.
Yeah.
Like, that's where I was at. And I had gotten an email from Google, set up your AdSense, this and that. My video had amassed like 20,000, 30,000 views at the time. And I thought it was the coolest thing ever. It's the only reason why I was doing it. I was having fun. It was cool. And then I turned the AdSense thing on, and I ended up making like $800 on that video. And I don't know, the rest is history. I was just like, wait, what? I can make money doing this?
And what were those original videos? Like, what were you making in the
The first video I ever made, so YouTube used to be all how-to videos. That was whatever.
Yeah,
the algorithm at the
Expert Village,
time.
bro.
Yeah, the algorithm, how to cook an egg, how to change your tire.
Yeah.
It was more of like a visual Google kind of. Like that's how I mainly used YouTube in the earliest days. Was I didn't know how to do something, I'm a visual learner kind of guy, and I'd watch somebody do it, and it was helpful. Big Xbox kid, big Call of Duty kid, obviously. My friends, my little group of friends in high school, local friends, were obsessed for a while with Gamerscore. You guys remember Gamerscore and achievements and stuff?
Yeah.
We'd all grind achievements, and everybody wanted to have the most Gamerscore, et cetera, et cetera. And I didn't want to put the time or effort or work in, so I just tried to figure out how I could hack it. Whenever I found this forum that explained step by step on how to do it. And this didn't exist on YouTube, and I did it, and I had to call Microsoft and get a special little cable and download this program. And I wasn't sure that it would really work, but then it did, and I couldn't believe that it did. And I figured this has to be on YouTube. Someone has to explain and show step by step how to do this on YouTube. So I went to Radio Shack, bought a $15 mic, Hypercam in the bottom. Remember Hypercam?
Yeah.
In the bottom corner. Uploaded that, and the video ended up getting like fucking 500, 600, 700,000 views. And I mean, if you account for inflation and audience size and YouTube, like that's a fucking 20, 30 million view banger.
That's a bag.
That was my first ever video, how to hack Xbox 360 gamer score.
So how long does that arc take to come to the point where you start making Call of Duty?
Well, immediately after that, I decided this is what I want to do. Like this, I want to spend time doing this. I liked it. I enjoyed it. That little world that you enter when you put on the headset, the mic, and you're talking to your boys from Toronto and the Bay and fucking all over the place. And my best friends at the time are 16 and 35, and we're all super different humans in the real world, but we connected on just that Call of Duty Xbox level. So I grinded. I went through, different trials and tribulations and ups and downs through that in that little world. But I noticed that this world existed that nobody else seemed to know about.
This is what I was going to say.
So for me, that was super exciting because my own parents and my dad, all my friends, I quit lacrosse to play more Xbox and grind
They had
more.
lacrosse and LOL.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like
I had never played
robberies and shit.
lacrosse ever, and the lacrosse coach walked around the cafeteria and asked every white kid in the cafeteria to come play lacrosse. It was the first year we had lacrosse at Lowell High, actually. And but yeah, no. Again, nowadays your fucking grandma knows that people are making money making YouTube videos and social media, and it's the new wave celebrity. It's like this is where things are, and this is where they're going to continue to head. But back then, you're trying to explain video games and YouTube, making money, career. It's like you might as well
Drink a prime.
That was so funny. Might as well drink this shit.
You might as well try to explain that how you're gonna make money drinking water.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Professionally. It's like,
before you go, George, I just want to say it is interesting how you kind of hit the nail on the head twice, like a double whammy in terms of where you allocated your energy so early on.
Yeah.
Not only were you making YouTube content, but and the following is also still very interesting to me. That just the gaming world, man.
Yeah.
I could not believe how big and now how big gaming is. Like it's esports is what probably one of the most burgeoning new profitable industries in the last 4 or 5 years or so.
And it's clearly a real piece of the human pie, right? When you think about what most people, where everyone crosses over in terms of time and what they're passionate about and what they spend their money on, because this is a business at the end of the day. It's fucking music and food and clothes, and video games is right in there with sports and broad general entertainment. It's there. That piece of the pie continues to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And metaverse shit, I know we're probably going to get into all of that.
We will.
What the future looks like. I think video games, esports, I think that's what the future of competition between human beings looks like.
But at the time, it was just fun and games. At the time, when you what Call of Duty or what were the first games that you were playing?
So I was never really a gamer.
You did trick shots.
Yeah, trick shots.
Trick shots. 360 no scopes.
Yes. I was never a big gamer. Christmases and birthdays and stuff, my little brother would get the new Game Boys and the new Xboxes and all the new games and stuff, and I just wanted clothes and money and just other random shit. And I never understood sitting in front of a TV and playing a game by myself for myself. It just seemed really closed off and kind of pointless in terms of time, and it was never really that fun for me. Lacrosse, again, after lacrosse practice, all my boys would go, what are we doing after practice? And all my boys would go home and play Halo. It was Halo. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Can we go do something? Like, no, we're going to go play Halo. Come play. My little brother had an Xbox, took it out of his room, put it in mine, Halo. And the second I put the mic on, I could talk shit to people, and like, I don't know, there's fucking 25 real humans in the lobby and they're talking shit to me and I'm talking shit to that. For me, I was like, that was it for me. I was dog shit at Halo. But Call of Duty World at War had been the new Call of Duty, the old one. With
That's my favorite Call of Duty.
Such a good Call of Duty. First ever Nazi Zombies, legendary Call of
So
Duty.
good, man.
That one doesn't get enough respect. You know what I mean?
Why don't we just make sure you get this out of the way? Go top. I'll make it easy. Do top 3 right now.
MW2, Black Ops 2. And honestly, like those are S tier, right? So it's
No
I
one
don't even
else
want
is
to.
with
I don't
those
even
two.
want to
They're
talk. I
correct,
don't even want
correct.
to say a third. It's MW2, Black Ops 2, and then
What do you think about these new
The
guys
rest.
trolling online? Like I think even Swag, like some of these people saying like Ghosts or fucking MW3. Some people think MW3 is a better game. I just don't get it.
MW3 is a great game.
It is a great
It's an
game.
amazing game. I don't know.
I think they're
don't know.
trolling because it's pretty obvious that
If you say Ghosts, you're trolling for sure. MW3, I don't know. It also goes back to like again, World at War was my first Call of Duty, and I was really fucking good at it. Naturally, just gifted at it. And the way I always describe it now was, you know, I was like the little local high school legend. Everyone's grinding this game. It's the new game. Everyone gets it for Christmas, and everyone's fucking, you know, that's what the boys are doing.
Yeah.
And I was whooping everyone's ass, and I was clearly the best one. And it was like, oh, you think you're good? You got to play Ricky. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, bet.
you were the final boss.
So I was like, that's where I kind of got more serious with the game, and I started playing game battles, like the MLG platform, amateur platform, and I kind of realized quicker than not that I wasn't as good as I thought I was. I always say you could be the best basketball player at your high school, but you're not LeBron James.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're nowhere
Yeah.
close. So we have the real guys who grind it 8 hours a day, the pros. You know what I'm saying? Those guys are fucking way beyond me and what I could have ever
It's
accomplished.
insane.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
And so I know you on a personal level, but I wanted to dig a little deeper, and I had to
Sure.
try to do some research on you. First guest, by the way, shout out Banks, the one that never shows up. I did my homework.
I love
You know what's
you.
crazy? I was doing my first like digging, and I was like, this fucking guy's not even gonna show up, and I'm gonna do all this. But in 2013, you went from SOAR to FaZe, and
Yep.
you said you didn't know how you got
Off
here.
camera, how'd you say it?
SOAR.
He said, so are your company.
I went up to him, I was like, is it pronounced SOAR? And he goes, SOAR, because
it's
it has a
spelled
capital
SOAR,
A in
by
the
the
middle
way.
of it. So I thought it had like an abbreviation or something.
It's like when
I asked because I knew I was wrong. That's why I asked.
it's like when Billy Madison put the R in couch. COUR. You going to the most? So are you coming on the show? Or
There's no
not?
capital A, by the way. It's capital R, but it's the little game.
It's just
FaZe has a
SOAR.
capital Z.
Hey,
in
he
it.
just started doing research.
Okay,
Get it?
no,
Oh, he's
stop,
walking.
stop. Outta here.
He's
George, stop. I want to hear
But
the
also,
question.
I feel like you
I'm
skipped a lot of
sorry.
steps. I'm sure we were getting there.
We skipped a lot of steps.
Go
I just wanted to get to the
No,
question.
it's honestly a
We
long
can't
story.
do
We can
all of it.
bounce-
No,
yeah,
he's right.
It's
Go,
a really,
go.
really long
You're
story.
absolutely
No,
right.
I just wanted to get to this because
So
there's
SOAR. Quick. SOAR was a trick shotting team. I had kind of pivoted from the competitive sniping realm. Me and my boy Ennis Relapse, shout out. I owe you a Porsche something. I love you. You changed my life forever. Him and I ran this competitive sniping forum, which was kind of like just we created our own little esports game within Call of Duty, quick scoping, sniping. And the way we profited on this was, remember the YouTube comments,
Yeah.
YouTube like channel comments?
Yeah.
So we kind of hacked the system. It's honestly genius. And I can't it was the coolest thing ever. So we would spam post our videos on our channel, and you know how you could auto play the video on your channel?
Yeah.
People would find matches to play against each other in the channel comments and then refresh to see if someone's accepting their matches.
Okay.
And that's how they would communicate the community with each other.
Yeah.
So our channel comments were fucking firing. Like at any point in the day, you refresh our channel and there's 10 new comments every single time. So those are all
Algorithmically.
views,
Yeah.
views. So we were making money doing that. Obviously, YouTube ended up turning that shit off.
Yeah.
So we stopped making money, and then we had to figure out something else. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I pivoted to FaZe, and the trick shotting shit and the montages and stuff were hot at the time. And I thought it was really, really cool.
It is never too early to play holiday music, and it's never too early to start thinking about gifts. Whether it's for a friend or for the friend in your pants, you can make this season to be a jolly one with Manscaped. Do your little drummer boy a favor and use the Lawnmower 4.0 to avoid another silent night in the bedroom. Then add in Manscaped's top-of-the-line shower products to have the people thinking all I want for Christmas is you. Santa cares about his sack, and so should you. Look nice when you get to get naughty and get free shipping and 20% off by going to manscaped.com/impulsive. The Manscaped Platinum Why do you always... Because you're going to hit me one of these
I would
days.
never do that.
But if you did, it'd be comfortable because a Manscaped 4.0 Platinum Package is the one-stop shop for the man who deserves it all. It has everything needed to help you deck the halls from face to balls just in time for mistletoe season. The Platinum Package 4.0, sitting under the tree, is guaranteed to put anyone in the holiday spirit. And for the perfect stocking stuffer, add in the brand new Body Buffer, an incredible body scrubber that makes exfoliating easy and a lot cleaner than that old loofah. 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com/impulsive. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com/impulsive. Back to the program. Who came up with FaZe?
Tommy, House Cat.
Apex.
No, not Apex. Apex was one of the first. Tommy, Temperrr.
Tommy?
My tall Brazilian handsome partner in crime. He's getting married. Tommy, shout
Yeah,
out.
shout
Oh,
out
no way.
Tommy's
It's insane.
engaged.
Yeah, he just
bro.
proposed to his girl in Brazil. He's originally from Brazil.
Sick.
By random chance, he fucking moved to Lowell, Massachusetts when he was 7, lived there for like a year, and then moved down the street to Haverhill, Mass. Met this kid on Xbox, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, crazy.
Our high school football teams played each other,
Yep.
and yeah, we kind of co-founded FaZe as a company together.
But
But yeah,
I guess I'm curious because now you guys went public, which
Yeah.
is a beast in itself.
it's insane.
Congrats.
Thank you.
But it is crazy to like sit here and
Reminisce.
listen to
It's unreal.
The idea that two kids created this company that now just went public on NASDAQ.
Yeah, and we're stepping closer and closer to just being like a general globally recognized brand.
But how
It's
the
so cool.
how the fuck did you do that?
Again, like I said, I am that kid who was born to be a loser and fucked around on the internet and made a life for himself. And every step of the way, for me personally, I just followed what I believed in and what I was having fun doing. So I'm just, even at 31 years old, 12 years later, I'm just trying to find that and follow that because it's always taking me to the right spot. Money's always, I feel like one day I'm going to trip over $1 billion. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that could happen for me. Right. So it's like, I've never really put too much stock into the money side of things. I don't know. Just having fun.
Yeah, but no, bro, no, because you made an entire infrastructure and now have like how many employees are working?
120, I think.
That's insane, man.
Yeah.
So when did you guys realize that your business is just that, a business? You need a CEO, you need partners, you need investment, and how do we make it profitable?
It was pretty recently.
So no, sort of semi-recently. That's the other thing too about my whole YouTube journey, me as a content creator and the followers that I somehow have. I always was the kid. I was the one out of the 4 of us. So the founders of FaZe as a company, when we really decided like, wait a second, let's pursue this. Like, this could be like a lifelong thing. This could be what we do. This could be who we are forever. Put our hands in the middle. Let's fucking do this.
Yep.
Me, Tommy, Apex, and Rain.
Yep.
And at that time, Apex and Rain crushing it on the content side. FaZe Rain was fucking up there with PewDiePie and fucking all those other guys early on. And I was kind of the guy who was like on the phone with G Fuel and like on Skype and trying to make moves and trying to figure out who we should recruit and this and that. And that was always the more fun side of it for me. What was the question?
I'm just asking how you did it. Like, basically how you created this infrastructure around what was an idea, and again, 4 kids. Where did the CEO come from?
Okay, yeah.
Where did the CMO go?
So we kind of had just always like at this time we'd moved into New York together. So Tommy again lived down the street from me. We just so happened to live 15 minutes away from each other. He had called me one day, like 6 months after I joined FaZe, and he's like, hey, my roommate just moved out. Come live with me. And I had never really hung out with him before that. We'd talked on like Skype and Xbox, but like you never really know. You're kind of rolling the dice with the online internet friends. You're not really sure. And at the time, it's so crazy to think about. But I had a girlfriend, and I was making like $1,000 a month, and I was good with that. I'm like, you know what, man, life's going pretty good right now. I'm at home, 15 minutes away. It's what when you're growing up, that's a fucking grip away. You know what I'm saying? And we had hung out I kind of went to kick it with him and his friends to kind of vet the situation out. And we liked the same shit. We were the same kid, and he's still to this day my best friend, my brother. And I moved in with him, didn't look back. At the time, I had never shown my face on the internet. My dad was kind of a sketchy character in the sense of what he did career-wise. Nothing crazy.
This is why me and your dad like.
Yeah, nothing crazy. My dad just sold weed and fucking was a bookie and like just my dad's your stereotypical big Boston guy, Irish guy with tattoos, fucking this kid, that kid, motherfucker, you owe me money, cocksucker. And was on his own since he was 16 and just made his way the way he made his way. He's a fucking amazing guy. Everything good and cool about me is because of my dad. But I was always sketched out because kids were getting swatted. People are still getting swatted to this day. But I'm like, dude, God forbid some cocksucker online wants to fuck with me. SWAT team busts down my door. There's fucking 10 pounds of weed on my kitchen table. My dad goes to jail forever. I'll fucking kill somebody. You know what I mean? So I stayed away from that. So moving in with Tommy, it was the first time I had ever put my face on the internet, and we had started doing like little skits and Snapchats, and people loved it. We started to blow up. Yeah. And we kind of represented for these gamer kids. I think FaZe, what makes FaZe so special, especially early on, was that we shattered the stereotype of what it meant to be a gamer. Yeah. Right? Especially back then. Gamer. I mean, it was almost embarrassing. I didn't tell I told my closest friends what I was kind of doing in the background with the video games and stuff. But it was like, you don't want to claim that title. Right. I play video games. Like that's what I do. That's my thing. It was like the little, out of shape, chubby, antisocial, acne, virgin, incel type kid. Right. Me and Tommy are fucking 6'5" and we're fun and we're going to these events and getting drunk and we got girls and shit. And it's like, that was kind of like the essence of who we were. Like, oh, the FaZe guys, like they're cool, they're fun, they're nice guys, like whatever. And as soon as we linked up and lived together, kids are like, they're doing this, like video games, like they're doing that. Yeah. And like it gave people like hope and like people to look up to, like, wow, we could fucking do this. And like, I play Xbox 8 hours a day and everybody makes fun of me for it. My parents hate me for it, but these kids do the same thing and they're like,
and they're cool.
It's honestly like, I get emotional talking about it because it's fucking, it's awesome. It's a beautiful thing that we did. But,
that was like the start of you being on camera and the start of FaZe Banks and Tommy Temperrr content. Yeah. Because you then, and we'll continue to batter the door down us because this story is so fucking intricate.
It's going to be a sick movie one day.
No, 100%. There's so many parts to it. And how does it eventually go public and bring Lee Trink on and all this other stuff? Yeah, it's part of the story. But you guys start making content, especially at this New York house. And that is when people really start to finally get an idea of who FaZe Banks is. One, he's angry. He's very angry. He doesn't want to get hit in the face with the ball when he's playing. I love that. That is one of the most viral fucking FaZe clips ever. They would constantly throw this they would fuck with you.
No, both of them were complete accidents 2 days apart from each other while I had the camera on. That is crazy. The best clip ever.
So that kind of represented this like transition point, which then led you into becoming your own online persona. And the reason I'm trying to continue down this route is because this is around the time where Logan Paul, Jake Paul, FaZe Banks starts to start.
Yeah.
We're getting towards, what is this, 2016, 2017?
2016-ish, I think, yeah.
What some would consider to be the golden age of YouTube.
I agree.
I think it was too.
I agree.
I think it was too.
I hope it's not us being boomer-ish, but I agree.
I think a lot of people
I think YouTube's lost its sauce and it's fucking it's the politics and everyone's just kind of a pussy now. And it's like,
there was some edge back then.
Yeah, it was cool.
There was some edge. There was competing factions, warring factions. Like, dude,
we went to war.
No, we had a real beef. We had a real beef, dude.
We're sick.
Are we talking about that?
Yeah, no,
obviously we're talking about that.
So how do we get into it?
Logan? Okay, so that's actually a crazy story in itself. So we did yada, 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 New York house, whatever. Long story short, me and the other three guys had a falling out. So when we first started to create the business, we needed to start making money and maybe even take investments in because we wanted to get in other esports. We were interested in other ventures and we wanted to expand. So we met some fucking dude who we thought was the answer to all of our problems. Long story short, this dude was there's a lot that I can't talk about because there's been whatever. Terrible idea, whatever. This guy kind of pinned us all against each other. Long story short, I ended up moving back home for 6 months. Away from these guys, kind of broke communication with them and was a little bit lost and didn't know, I didn't know if these were the guys that I was going to do this shit with forever. I didn't know if they wanted me. I didn't know if I wanted them, whatever. At the time, I had like $30,000 in my bank account. I felt like I was the richest guy ever. I'd always wanted to move to LA. That was always our plan. We had only been in Long Island because our sponsor at the time was based there. So they got us a house close to their headquarters so we could do content and et cetera, et cetera. I moved to Los Angeles, kind of fake it till you make it. I had some other homies who had money who also wanted to move to LA. We moved into that fucking legendary Weed Lake
house.
glass mansion.
That-
Piece of shit house, by the way. It's held together, duct tape. And
That was your
bubble gum.
first house in LA?
Yeah.
No way.
Uh-huh.
Dude, how did you swing that?
I lived rent free in LA up until this year.
I cannot believe that.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
he has never paid rent.
That
until
house
this
was
year.
insane.
The New York, actually never paid rent ever in my life. The the New York FaZe house too. Also, I do want to say this on the show: first content house, creator, influencer house
Really?
ever
Yeah.
in history.
Really?
But
And that became
there is
like
some
meta.
Yeah.
But there is some. Isn't there some argument about that? Or is
No,
that the answer?
there's no argument.
Okay.
That's
No,
the
it's
answer.
Team 10, 100%. Why you laughing?
I thought
way
I
before
I
that.
thought there was. I thought
Are
there
you
was-
talking about Optic?
Yeah,
No,
somebody,
there was
that's what I'm saying.
Four
yeah.
pros lived together and they fucking played Xbox all day and
Got
they just
it.
competed together, but they weren't doing it the way we were doing it. We
the content house?
were getting we were all meeting up in the kitchen in the living room every day and making fucking videos.
Videos,
You know,
yeah,
like the way that people are still doing it to this day.
So we just did it
Yeah.
this morning. So
Yeah.
okay, so you moved to LA to by the way, just for people who don't know, to a house that became, synonymous with some of the biggest parties,
Yep.
ridiculous events. I mean, a lot of us met at that house. A lot of people came into that house and relationships
Yep.
were born in that house and orgies were had in
So-
that house and everything happened at this Weed Lake house, which eventually became a group of Weed Lake houses.
Yeah,
Three of the largest mansions you could ever imagine in the Hollywood Hills. It's just a really
26 total bedrooms between the three of them.
ridiculous. So you're in this house. I want to get to this content portion. So how do you and Jake Paul go into the biggest
Okay.
war that ever exists on
So
YouTube?
my role in this house, the guys who would fronted like the bulk of the money that we needed, because we're all fucking bum kids who like this guy needed like all the money up front for the whole year's lease, right? And I obviously didn't have that. So these kids who had the money fronted it, and the plan was for me, because I've always been a good like networker. I've always been good at like making friends and linking up and like kind of getting in there and figuring out like what's the move and who should we be next to and what should we be doing. So the plan was always to kind of create our own little content house. And
what would you call it if you could call it anything?
we called it Clout, the Clout House. But it's
Bringing
so cool.
me back. It's bringing me back. Clout gang. It's bringing me back.
Remember when I got this tattoo and you crossed out every letter except Low Gang?
Yeah.
Remember that?
I do remember that.
That's funny.
Who are the okay?
So RiceGum comes and visits, and I'm like, you can live here if you want. I went to Target. I got a little gift basket. I got a little light, R-shaped light, put it next to his bed, snacks and Ciroc, and set it all up for him. I'm like, RiceGum's coming. He's one of the biggest guys in the world. I had talked to him and been friends with him for years up to this point. But he comes and he has a good enough time to the point where he's like, fuck it, yeah, I'll move in. So he moves in. And then Wolfie moves in. The Nelk boys.
Well, that's
Yeah, we're going a
later.
little
You're going
ahead.
too fast. So
Alyssa Violet.
oh wait, hold on
is
a sec. Don't just say that
okay,
name.
Okay.
That will be introduced
So all
properly.
right. So this is how that happened. That was kind of the core. And Rice, to this day, I'll stand by this. Rice is one of the most brilliant social media internet minds I've ever got a chance and pleasure of speaking with and diving into. Obviously his persona online, the character that he plays is fucking but when you're alone with Rice in a room and the door is shut and nobody else is around, this kid's he's got
a brain.
it. He's
a
got
brain,
it.
100%.
And I've met a few people like that. I've met a few people in my life where I can sit with them one-on-one and feel like I'm really gaining things from the conversation and the relationship, and like we very like-minded, and just it was perfect. It was thank God I met this kid. So he was cracking. He was doing his own thing, shooting his own little videos. We started making videos together. They were doing really well. People liked seeing us together, and we just kind of built off that. And part of that story and process, I think Chantel Jeffries came over to the house one day to like shoot with Rice or something. And she's looking around the house and she's like, you guys have open rooms? She's like, my homegirl, Alyssa, she's been crashing at my house and she needs a place to stay. She needs a place to live. And she had Clout at the time. She was kind of
Okay, so
cracking.
So let's stop you for a second,
Yep.
and now you come in. Now, where are you at this juncture? What is happening with you, Jake, and what has happened with Alissa up to that moment?
I was probably jerking off on Hollywood Boulevard, if you.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, yeah.
But
For,
like
for
where?
a vlog, obviously for content.
You guys were moving from Vine to YouTube. You guys, it was the
Correct.
big Vine invasion. That's
Yeah.
that's where we were at in the timeline.
The idea with her was to start our own little content house
Yeah.
and team of influencers that we would build using the platforms that we've built. Essentially, leverage our success. Oh, hello.
You almost killed Logan.
Essentially, leverage the success that we've built unto other creators to preserve the longevity of what we were building online. And this girl was working at Panera in Ohio, and she told Jake that she wanted to be a model, and Jake pounced on it, signed her, brought her out to LA. They had this whole relationship. It fell apart, and then I think she made her way then into your life, which then the girl, as happens, I think, a lot between young men, became a point of
And I'm a little
conflict.
bit older than Jake and stuff too, so I understand where all that shit was coming from with him. But from my perspective, my point of view, I'd never heard of you guys or stumbled across your guys' shit ever. I didn't know what the fuck the deal was with this girl. When I met her, this is how I met her too. She comes over to collab with Rice. We talk about her maybe moving in, months go by, a couple months, 2-3 months go by. And then she's blowing up Rice like, yo, I need your help. He's the diss track guy at the time. And Jake had just dropped It's Everyday Though, which is like multi-platinum, both songs.
Alissa came
It's
up
Every
with
Night,
that
Sis.
idea to make that music video?
Yeah.
Wow.
Bro, Alissa, great find, by the way. I mean, I'm not going to go into it. But
we are.
It's an anomaly. It's an anomaly.
Really, obviously, really
what happened
beautiful
with
girl.
her-
I think Alyssa's sauce, what made Alissa Violet so special was she's so relatable to girls. Like she's not afraid to crack humor and be like the goofy, like loud, fucking obnoxious chick. You know what I mean? She was never too cool for school. You know what I mean? She was like just a homie.
Yeah.
I have to say that I think if Alissa put half of the work ethic that Jake or Logan did, I think she'd be the biggest YouTube star
Half.
in the world.
5%.
So
in the
5%,
world.
bro.
There's not one piece of content
5%.
she's ever put out that I was like, fuck that.
At her prime, that girl, and we did everything for her, right? Sit down on a couch and record a stupid little goofy skit with, 2 or 3 of us, and it would fucking get 10 million views. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what she had.
She did have such a crazy
It was
effect on
crazy.
the
It
internet.
was
I
crazy.
remember seeing the numbers,
It was
her engagement,
crazy.
everything. People loved her.
It was crazy.
And then I think she really cemented who she was with It's Every Night, Sis.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
That song was crazy. And
So she came over to record
Yeah.
with Rice, and then I meet this girl, and we connected instantly. And it was just one of those situations where when you find a girl that you eventually date and you fall in love with, it's one of those things. There's no way to you can't put your finger on it, but you want to spend every minute with them. You just want to talk to them about nothing. You know what I'm saying? What?
He's in that wave right now.
Did you
Good.
guys-
Well, that's all.
I
It's
know,
an
I'm
amazing
kidding. I know
feeling.
it
It's
is.
beautiful.
It is.
And when you find that, I feel like you get 4 or 5 of those in life if you're lucky. You know what I'm saying? And I had that with her, and I felt like she had it with me. And it was one of those situations where I'm not dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like we're all who we are, and we have things that the average person doesn't have. And there's fucking endless waves of cheeks in LA who are down to fucking throw themselves at us and fuck us and want to date us and love us. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? For me, with this girl at the time, she had way more clout than me. She had more money than me. She was fucking just everything that I had, she had more of it. And still, she wanted to spend time with me and be near me and told me she loved me, right? So I just was like, wow, this is like, why does this girl like me so much? You know what I mean? I like her too. This is great, whatever. So
when I met you,
that was very cute.
That was
very
amazing.
cute.
But
I love
that's
you, Alissa. You're great.
But that's what I
We're
know
homies.
of Ricky, by the way. This kid is a walking heart. I mean, people probably don't see it from the outside, but he is one of the sweetest, most.
Okay.
Well, I want to say this really quick. Now it's around this time, and you'll probably get back a little bit here onto the Jake beef and stuff. But this is when I meet you. Right around now, when I meet you,
And I'm like chest puffed out, like, who the fuck is this kid ready to rock Evan in his fucking mouth?
Correct. Correct. Exactly.
Was it that party? What party was it? It was cracking.
Where were
I don't
we?
know.
And no, because now, when me and you met for the first time,
I love this so
there was
much.
built-in drama
yeah.
because you were the op.
Thank God for Lovesack, man.
I know.
Thank
Brought
God.
us all
It brought
together.
all
Still
of
in my
us
phone.
together.
Still in
As
my
Mike
phone is
Lovesack?
Mike
Yeah,
Lovesack.
same with
It'll
everybody.
never change.
Mine's like
I
that.
changed it to Mike Nutsack for a little bit, but I had to switch it back. Switch it back.
But when I met you, there was this horrible built-in beef. And I remember there was 2 or 3 parties that we went to, and I would look across the room, and at my eye level, there's very few people. And I would look over the heads of the models and all these other people, and I would sometimes meet eyes with a very tall, very tattooed enemy of mine across the room. And maybe like 2 or 3 parties had gone by, and we would avoid each other like the fucking plague. And then one night, somehow, some way, we ended up.
It's always a joke. Someone cracked some humor or something.
Someone
and I'm like,
made us
yeah.
come together, and it was like a spark, bro. And I was like, oh, this dude's awesome. You know what I'm saying? And it was like an automatic thing. And in my brain, I was already starting to think of, okay, how do I kill this beef? How do I make this end? And to the plight of the millions who loved that fucking beef. I
feel like you were the catalyst in a lot of ways. Time has helped too. I mean, obviously Alissa has gone and found love elsewhere, and I've done my thing, and Jake doesn't give a fuck anymore. It's like at the end of the day, all that stemmed, and thank God, by the way, because we ran YouTube for a minute. You know what I'm saying? This is what everybody was talking about every day. Drama alert. Every fucking day there was something else. And it was awful while it was happening. It sucked, but it's legendary, historic moment, golden age.
What about you? And did it ever, and what I was saying before was when I met you guys also was during the tumultuous ending of the Alissa Violet era, which obviously, you know, you guys were kind of, for me, the table stakes for what a online relationship looks like.
Yeah.
And for me, all the reasons why I would always want to avoid one. I mean, you guys
I'll never do it ever again.
Through it.
It was bad.
I mean, the end of it was awful. It was brutal. But I feel like that's just a testament to like the passion and love between us. It was like we wanted to just try to make it work by all means necessary, even if it meant sacrificing our own sanity and happiness. Like that's just where it got. You know what I'm saying? Like
It's so funny because like I'm thinking about it right now, and I don't think there's like an online or a couple that
no, they're all like they just all seem manufactured and like short-lived and
or also probably pretty likely is I bet they learned a lot from what they saw us do, you know, like a lot of our lives, private lives, were lived on camera.
Yeah.
Like for the whole world to see, judge, make assessments about, and form conclusions and talk their shit. And it's just no way to live if you want to maintain that sanity that you mentioned.
Agreed. I will say this. I'm really proud of us for keeping a limit to how much of the drama between us two made it online. Because immediately, again, I know I do see forward, and I do try my best to fucking prepare for the future and prepare for the worst. And I had always said to her, no matter what, I want to be your friend and I want to be there for you. And we still are, thank God, to this day. She's my family. She always will be. I wish her nothing but the best. We still talk regularly.
You miss her?
I do not miss our relationship. No. You couldn't fucking pay me.
Yeah, you guys were. Remember
to do it again. But I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't undo it. If there was a number, I don't know. I really don't. You live
just
one
for the
life.
Clips channel, I want to know how much.
There's a lot of variables that I would have to ask. It could be a whole show on its own. I don't know.
But it lingered, right? And you remember she kicked the donuts.
Oh my God.
It lingered,
at
bro,
the
Clybourne house all the way when we moved in.
Well, because we had
that
we are
nasty,
friends.
toxic phase post-relationship that we have all been in, where it just doesn't end. Ex-girlfriend sex, buddy. Is it my kid? No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But yes, to that point, ex-girlfriend sex. Yes.
Yeah.
It's a fucked up, toxic place to be.
It is.
And it's a bad place to be.
The donuts.
Yeah.
So
Can I ask you, what the fuck are we talking about? What's the donuts?
At Clybourne,
It's
when
just
Mike
a
and I lived
stupid
together, Alissa was over one morning. I think she just showed up, right? And I had a bunch of girls over.
Yeah.
Alissa would do this from time to time.
When she knew the girls were there.
Alyssa-
That's when she would show up.
Yeah, she showed up. She's like, fuck all you guys. This and that. She, like, Alissa doesn't give a fuck. Alyssa's a
No, she would walk in and talk
Badass, yeah.
shit to 50 girls.
guns blazing,
Literally.
kick through the door. What's good, motherfuckers? And Alissa, we broke up 2 years ago. Like, what are we doing right now? What's happening? And I had ordered 3 boxes of Krispy Kreme donuts, and I was walking her out to her Uber or car, and she fucking booted the donuts. And Mike's like, the donuts, Alissa, come on.
But of course, Mike's not the fucking donuts.
Mike's shirt's off. He's fucking over it. It's fucking 6 a.m. He's like, what the fuck's going on? I'm having a little party in my room, and Alyssa's screaming, and he's trying to help us not be that.
Well, because I'm sure you remember this, but that night also.
Alyssa's the GOAT, man. I love her. I really do.
Alissa would be the type of person I haven't talked to in months. Fucking months, bro. And by the way, we never ended in bad terms. It's just one of those friendships. I go this way, you go that way. Months. I get a call 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, oh my God, are you okay? Hello? She goes, get this shit. And she's like, talking all this shit. And she's like, and you know what the fuck I'm gonna do? You'll find out tomorrow. Hangs up. I go, what the fuck? How are you gonna call me, get me this hype, blue ball me, and then not tell me what you're doing tomorrow? I was looking online all over. The girl's a plotter, and she's a genius, bro.
Yeah,
But
she's
just to kind of
special.
put like a tack in that she, by way of you know, your guys' relationship being online, and also by way of her relationship with Jake being online and all that stuff, we talk about an Alissa Violet that created a moment in social media, an engagement that was not to be fucked with, someone that could really make a mark.
Yeah.
And I want to talk a little bit about the mental side of this today. And Alissa being one of the people that I've seen kind of a little bit fold under the pressure that is this fucking social media engine, dude.
Brother, that was like us in a nutshell, right? Like if either one of us cared enough about like views and the money and the business side of creating content, like that was her too. She was I'm so emotionally driven. Like it really is. It's above everything else for me, for better or for worse. There's pros and cons. And I appreciate it in a lot of ways, but in another sense, it's prevented me from doing a ton of shit, right? A ton of shit by a lot of people's standards is the smart or right thing to do. And she was the same way. She just like didn't ever care about it, which I thought made her even cooler and more special. Like she just didn't fucking care about it. Still to this day does not necessarily care about it. And I don't want anybody to make no mistake. Like I appreciate where I am in life, and so does she. You know what I'm saying? And it's for no other reason than the people that supported us and continue to support us and follow us and stuff. But it's grueling, man. It's a weird life that we've lived. It's not normal.
But also, what I was bringing up was also to loop it back in. She's been, and I said fold earlier. I didn't mean it as a bad thing, but she's been very vocal, and something that I connect to you greatly on, and we've had a lot of conversations about, is mental illness. And she's been very vocal about her struggles with anxiety.
Yeah.
And how that has crippled her ability to make content and to continue to kind of thrive in that space. And, you know, you have had your own, you know, I'd like to jump into a little bit, your own struggles.
Yeah, of course.
And, you know, I think the one that leaps out at me is Germany.
Yeah, that was kind of the area of time between us living in New York and then me moving to LA. Yeah, I had a full blown mental break when I was like 24. At the time, the guy, the end all be all answer to our problems, business guy who was going to take us to the fucking promised land. He had a tech startup that was based kind of between, they had one little HQ spot in Berlin and then one in Oslo, Norway. So I was spending a lot of time in Europe, bouncing back and forth. And I was kind of addicted to just not sleeping. It was weird. Like I kind of liked, still to this day, you know, I have this issue.
We'll be talking about it.
I'll stay up for
me.
fucking, I'll go on a bender and stay awake. And I don't know how I do it. Nobody around me knows how I do it, but I'll stay awake for 2-3 days.
And you're not doing coke.
No.
You want to know what you're doing?
No,
drinking
those
a
drugs.
disgusting amount of Red Bull.
alcohol.
or whatever
Yeah,
energy drink,
both
which
of
is
them.
probably worse than
probably.
cocaine, to be honest.
Yeah, you're right. No, you're absolutely right.
So you're spending time in Germany.
And I don't know, I had a mental break. I was seeing this other girl at the time, and I don't know, it was this weird transition in my life where I had seen what we had dreamt of and talked about for so many years, like start to come together, where I was like, oh my God, we're doing this. We're going to turn it into a business. I really believe that this could be like the next Nike, and that, you know, I could fucking be something and we could do this. And between that and the sleep and everything else, and my ego at the time, and my temper issues and fucking just a bunch of other shit. Me being a young man who grew up in Boston, in the way that my dad would have me and my little brothers settle our issues, go in the backyard and fucking handle it, or I'm gonna fucking handle it, screaming at us. That's the way I'm dealing with my shit, with fucking 3 18-year-old kids who grew up with regular, normal households, you know, all that whole dynamic, you know, I don't know. So I split off from those guys. I was 51-50 for 2 weeks and lost my fucking mind.
And you spent those 2 weeks in a center in Germany?
No, in Long Island. It was the worst. It was the worst place ever. I'd rather spend 3 months in jail than another week at that place. It was
way.
awful.
Why was it so bad?
Because, bro, like, and it was so weird. All these like little like hot RA like nurse chicks are all like having conversations with me the whole time. Like, why are you here? And it was making me even crazier. I'm like, I don't know. You guys ever see One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That movie, just that movie was my experience in the hospital.
Okay.
So, did the 2 weeks there, came out. These guys who I thought were my brothers, who are my brothers, but at the time, you know what I mean?
Paranoia.
Yeah.
Right.
They didn't really want anything to do with me. I scared the shit out of them. You know what I'm saying? I was saying wild, crazy shit. You don't just get 51-50 for no fucking reason. I was saying crazy shit, right? So the only move for me to make at that point was to go back home. And that was the absolute rock bottom of my fucking life, right? To see that future for yourself, like, oh my God, we're doing this. And then kind of immediately have it all sucked away. And to kind of have to go back into your parents' house with your fucking head hung low, and like your parents are looking at you and your friends are looking at you. And 2 months ago, you're flying around the country and living some dream and they're all super proud of you, to like, Ricky, what just happened? You know what I mean? It's just like super embarrassed and just down, bummed. So I sat in a bedroom on an air mattress for like 2 months. And I didn't feel like myself. I had zero creative like vision. I was so uninspired. And then finally after those 2-3 months, something clicked and I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I got to get up. I got to shake this shit off. I got to do something. So I got a little spot with my friends who I had grown up with for 6 months. And then by that time I was like ready to go. Made a couple phone calls and we moved to LA.
So that led right into it.
Yeah.
But even
because my plan was, I was like, these fucking guys want nothing to do with me. But like, I did this once, I could do it again. I'm going to move to LA and show them what's up, which is fucking kind of sick because that's what we did.
Yeah.
I moved to LA. They still didn't want to talk to me. And then we started fucking going crazy with the Clout gang shit. And, you know, eventually they're like,
oh, I see.
what's good? Like,
Yeah,
what's good?
Yeah.
Like we sat down, we talked about it. And we got through it and got over it.
And you did get through it.
Yeah.
And you shook it off. But as you know, and as I know, and anybody else who kind of deals with that stuff knows that it's not something that goes away. And as long as I've known you to be an incredibly ambitious and you know, awesome friend and great lover, but also someone that is susceptible to really dark times, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
And, you know, there have been times in our relationship where, you know, something would happen in your personal life or with your girlfriend or with work, and I wouldn't see you for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. You know, you'll go and, you know, kind of banish yourself to your room and close the curtains, and, you know, it's fucked up, but we're all dark. So it's almost like a running joke. Like, yo, what are the chances Ricky comes out of the bedroom today? It's low. You know what I mean? Adin will be joking around about it. But, you know, how do you like work on that? Like, how do you continue to kind of like keep yourself out of that place?
Again, that Germany thing, the getting 51-50, moving back to my parents' house there'll never be a lower moment for me ever. Like it's impossible. But in a lot of ways, in hindsight, that was one of the best things that ever happened to me in my entire life. Like it was one of the first and only times that things have been put into the perspective of like, wait, like, because I eventually had to come to terms with the fact that I'm sitting on an air mattress. I'm fucking, my ego, my life, and my heart are shattered. I must have done something to wind up in this spot. And then you start to kind of unravel and get into like, why the fuck am I here? And then that's when you can kind of identify, okay, I did this and this and this wrong, but I've done this and this and this right. You try to lean more into the right side and less into the wrong side. And, but in hindsight, it was one of the best things that ever happened in my life. It was one of the most important pivotal moments in my life. So now when the bad times come, that's the perspective that I have, that, you know what I mean? This is bad right now in this moment, but I could figure out how to slingshot this into a good thing, right?
So that's such a mature, way of thinking.
It's the only way.
That you definitely have that in your pocket now. And for me,
yeah.
that's my entire life is based on that perspective. Homie, you know what
Like
bad looks like.
When those kinds of things happen, it's the worst thing ever in the moment, but would you change it for anything? No, right? It was probably the most important, at least one of the most important things ever in your life.
For sure.
And then you have that forever for the rest of your life. When we're older, when we have kids, everything, we have that.
For sure. If humans can survive the most traumatic moment of their life and learn from it, I think it puts them in such a powerful position.
100%.
Navigating negativity, especially negativity that's coming from in here, which is probably the worst kind that there is difficult.
Insane.
And I think having that ability to put things into perspective is a really tough tool or a tough lesson to learn. But the only way to do it is you have to go through it.
You have to go through it. Exactly.
Growing
It's one thing to
pains.
talk about it and listen to it. But for anybody who's dealing with that shit right now, just hear us and listen to us, because it's impossible to continue to where you were at before this event has occurred, this whatever, what I've been through, what you've been through, what you guys have been through. But there's only two ways to go after that. You're going this way the fuck up, or crashing and burning and dying, like you said, not surviving. And you just have to do everything in your power to go that way. And you can. Anybody can. You can.
I'm a bit of an optimist, but one other positive or pro about being in that down and out position is I really do like having only one direction to go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, it's such a cool feeling.
Bro, if you fucking lost, you're at the bottom and absolutely defeated
Back against the
in
wall.
circumstance.
That's it. You can only go forward.
You got one way to
That's
go,
it.
right? Like things
Retweet.
could
I
get
totally
worse.
agree.
They probably won't.
Yep.
It's messed up to say, and I've often looked at myself weirdly, but it's a kind of a good feeling
Yeah,
in a
little bit.
weirdly strange sadomasochistic way to be at a point where you can only go forward.
It
agree.
feels like a fresh start to me, like a blank slate, like an opportunity to attack something and try again and build.
Like boxing, for example,
I don't know.
created
So sick.
how fucking sick is that, dude?
This.
So another thing about you that's interesting, we talked about relationships a little bit earlier in Alissa, but I've also noticed as your friend that a lot of the time that you're operating at your peak performance is when you have a partner. So at least I would think so.
Yeah, maybe.
You had Alissa, had Tyson.
Because dude, girls are so fun. They take up so much time.
Well,
And
this
I'll
is
spend
what
the
this is
fucking
what I
time.
want to
It's
bring
so
up
annoying.
for people that
I don't mean girlfriends. When you have a girlfriend, you're locked in. The dynamics established.
Automated.
It's good.
Yep.
It's like a machine,
Sure.
and it's good. I'm talking about like the randos.
Well, let me
like,
throw some context out
Yeah.
here. You potentially, you are, I don't know how to say this because this is something that like me and you kind of like also collaborate on.
This fucking guy too, pal.
Well, not anymore. He's changed.
Yeah, not anymore. But
But-
we've been in LA for a while, and let's just put it this way: if all of our crossovers, if you put them all in a room, it's a fucking 200-person party banger. Let's just put it that way, right? Is that what you're getting at? Yeah. Okay.
I was going to use just you, but now
Okay,
you've weaved us into it as well.
Yeah.
But you kind of,
We're men. We're boys, right?
Facts.
Yeah.
We're men, boys.
but
Boys, man, boys.
but I remember back.
So you're at the clinic and we all have herpes. We're like, fuck. Now we're just men with herpes.
Never herpes. Never forever.
Triptych Rick.
Triptych Rick.
But the reason I'm bringing it up is because I go back to a time when you guys were still ops and weren't friends, and me and you were starting to build a relationship, but it hadn't become this yet.
Yeah.
And he would always say to me, he'd be like, how does that motherfucker do it?
Dog, I never understood it.
He goes,
never understood it.
he goes, he kind of looks smelly. He has a lot of
I
tattoos.
smell good always, by the
He
way.
No,
doesn't
it's
smell
fine.
bad.
I'm actually very
But this was
clean.
during a time when you
yeah.
guys were like kind of warring. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I go, bro, the kid just has this sauce, like this very sweet. We all have very different styles,
Yeah.
but his specifically is he has this sweetness that he turns on, and he knows just what to say to like melt immediately. And so my question to you is, if your intent is to become productive for FaZe or productive for content or for crypto, God forbid we get into that conversation, do you have trouble turning that other side off? Because I'm speaking for myself.
Turning what other side off?
The hoe side.
No, I mean, not really. Again, I kind of just go with the flow and I kind of let my gut and my heart make decisions.
Or is it your cock?
I mean, yeah, that too. That too. But I mean, in the sense of like where I transitioned from being a fucking hoe to having a girlfriend, we all know at this point, that's something you can't force that or find it or locate it. It's not one of those things that you can wake up one day and say, I'm going to go find a fucking girlfriend today. It just happens. Someone lands in your lap and you're like, oh my God, I love you. And that's how that fucking happens. And until that happens, what the fuck am I going to do?
Fuck.
Dudes? No, I'm going to fucking go out and have fun, right? I don't know. No, I don't know. It's not, yeah, I guess, I don't know. It is kind of hard. Yeah. I won't leave my house if there's not, I don't know.
You have become kind of like, it's so different, the shows now, when we try to like massage our way around these topics versus how we would have talked. People call and they say, we need Ricky to pull together a hornado tonight.
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
What?
Yes. Yo, the weekend.
By the way, listen, I'm really fucking good at it.
I didn't say it and you didn't say it, but yo, the weekend's having his release party tonight.
God.
Or Drake is having a party at Delilah. Ricky needs to activate. And he does. And he pulls together 15, 18, 30 girls.
I always ask for the number. How many?
How many girls? So my question is like, that seems like a management tactic. Like there's got to be some.
I was just having this conversation. So I feel like the most like unorganized, all over the place, like fucking can't get it together type person when it comes to that shit. But for some reason, if I need a fucking sprinter in 30 minutes and I need to invite 15 girls and I need to make sure they all get to point A and we all get to point B and C and D and everyone's having fun and you know the night is rolling through smooth, I fucking crush that. So I guess I can turn it on, but it goes again. I'm the best version of me when I'm having fun.
Yeah.
When I'm enjoying the moment.
For sure.
When I'm that's who I am.
Yeah, because when I lived with you,
Yeah.
so let's kind of
Like the fucking Web3 NFT shit. I was on that shit.
Well, let's put
On
that one
it was
more
fun,
down.
but it was fun.
Yes,
You know
but
what
I
I'm
want to transition into the next content house. So, however the fuck this ends up coming about, he is going to move to Puerto Rico. Yep. Sad day. Obviously, the Maverick house is no more, and everyone's leaving. And you have already started to prepare this opportunity for this new house.
Well, it lined up perfect because we used that Clybourne house as the FaZe house for a year.
Correct.
That year lease was up, and we decided to do other things other than renew this lease for this house. And then we had just linked up for kind of a one-off thing with that company that sponsored the Clybourne house for us.
Yep.
And it was just like, let's do it. We have this Adin Ross kid who's kind of coming up and we feel good about. We think he could be the next big thing. Rice is down to get back in the mix. Mike's ready to do something. Sommer's always down. Let's do it. And they were like, yeah, fucking let's do it.
And we create this house.
Yep.
And it implodes. I mean, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it.
What?
No one does anything. I continue.
Aiden became one of the biggest streamers on the planet in that house.
Yes,
so
correct.
Not for nothing.
That in his little crack room with the green
which I would
curtains.
argue that wouldn't have been possible if it weren't for LA.
Correct.
Motherfucker had a different rapper, athlete in the house every
I remember
single day.
I would be in my room and I would look at what was going on in his room on stream, which was, by the way, next door to my room. It would be like Blueface, some
Pammy Baby too.
Pammy Baby, Blueface, 4 prostitutes, 18 gang members.
Yeah.
There would be weed pouring through my vents into my fucking room.
Gunshots coming through the wall.
Literally, I'm calling Banks. He's not answering because he would be on a 3-week hiatus or whatever, like in his room. Summer Rae's not even at the fucking house. RiceGum is managing OnlyFans girls. And I'm sitting there as one of the co-managers of this house, like, what the fuck is going on right now? No one's doing their work except for Adin, and I'm creating. But it was a very strange time, another tumultuous time, and another lesson for me of how this management all works. The idea of managing these young creators. And Adin is we looked at him as our son.
Yeah.
As our kid. And we had one of the best streams in the history of his, one of his top 3
I
rated
love
streams.
that. I still
the
get
one
clips of that.
all
How
the
funny
time.
is that?
You
So
just
cool.
telling me to shh constantly. I said, what is this? The Ernest Hemingway section of the library? just
So funny.
a great time. And
Why are
one
you
other,
screaming?
Yeah, you are
Right now.
you are yelling.
I'm
dude.
always yelling.
No, that was what I said.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just don't understand.
Well, I'm hyped
No,
up.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
One other thing that happened in that house, and I'm just bouncing because I got a lot of things here. You had a podcast
Yep.
at that house
Mm-hmm.
by the name of Mom's Basement
Rest in peace.
with Keemstar.
Yep.
And on one of those shows, I had something to say that was just not so fond of one of the co-hosts of my show.
I remember. I forget what it was. What did you say?
Call me a dick rider.
Oh my God, he did.
Do you understand that you were?
No, but
In-
bro,
I didn't do
but bro,
anything.
No,
yeah,
no,
you
no.
did, bro.
It was your
What?
fault.
What?
Oh,
I
give
think-
me a break.
No,
I think you and Keemstar influenced Mike to say bad things about me.
Okay, so
You
let's
knew he was gonna go off the rails.
let's open this can of worms right now. Have I ever said anything bad about this man?
When you guys
Have
were,
I ever influenced your brain to think anything negative about
you
this
know what?
guy?
Fuck you. Yes.
When?
But
When?
both of you did. In years ago, not at that same time, but years ago, you guys did not like each other, and I was the man in the middle. And I would always tell you guys, "Oh, I love Banks," and he would
This
say,
isn't-
"Banks smells," and you would say, "Oh," I would say, "Oh, I love Logan." You would say, "Oh, he killed that guy." Like,
That's a joke.
No, I
That's a
understand
joke.
that, but what I'm saying is, I'm just saying, bro. There was animosity, bro.
Yeah, but I always maintain. I mean, I could have talked shit about Jake for fucking weeks.
The respect
at a
for
time,
Logan was there.
but it was
Yes,
always.
yes.
I had always attributed our beef to just. I mean, that's his big brother. I mean, that's just
Sure.
that is what it is. It's by way of that's how it should be. You know what I'm saying?
But I actually do.
And I've
kind-
always given you guys your flowers in terms of work.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Oh, okay, okay,
I'm
okay.
joking. I don't think you guys made. I think Mike's a piece of shit.
Okay, cool. We're on the same page.
No. Hold on a second. You are honest.
No. Let me
Fuck you.
let me rephrase my sentiment. What I implied was the following. I think we get a different Mikey when he's with you.
Maybe.
And
Yeah,
I-
that may be true.
I think on that podcast he was okay about being vocal about a feeling that he had, but it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
Oh no, I
course,
said
of
it
course,
terribly.
of
I said it
course.
terribly.
Of course.
But that was the only thing that I said. I mean, I may have spent the rest of the show talking about who you were fighting next and like all these great things, and that was the one thing.
Can
that
I be honest with you?
Yeah. What?
That comment that you made on Mom's Basement is the sole reason you have no equity in Prime.
It's a costly comment.
really It's really
That's
funny.
not true. I don't think that's true.
It's not. It's not.
I don't think that's true. But it ironically did happen at a very ironic period.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
What do you see in Keemstar? And I hate
Okay,
that I'm
so
even
this is
asking
my
this question.
relationship.
Bro, like I legitimately
I have a
forgot
really
this guy
solid,
exists.
strong answer for this.
Okay.
I'm as loyal as they come. And not to fucking jerk my own dick off, but I have changed people's lives in this space. And the Adin stuff and
We should talk about Nelk after.
Tifu,
Let's
Nelk,
talk
all
about
that
it
stuff.
after.
I thrive and love. My favorite side of the content shit is finding someone who's on the up and learning everything that I learned 10 years ago and taking everything that I have gained and learned from this entire experience and like applying it to them and teaching them and seeing something that I believe that could be huge. And then it becomes huge. I love that. And I've been fucked over by these characters in the past, and I've had, whatever. I do it for no other reason than I like to do it. But there's been maybe a handful of people. You find out, I'm sure when you went through your shit, you know this. You find out who the real motherfuckers are when shit is hitting the fan.
Yeah.
When you're at the absolute lowest of lows, rock bottom, that's when you find out who your family is, who your friends are, who cares about you. And there's no other time to find that or see that, but it becomes, everything else is foggy and fucked up, but that becomes very, very clear. And when I had been 5150'd and got fucking shipped back and my ass kicked back to Boston and no one wanted anything to do with me, and I felt like I didn't have a single friend on the planet, there were 3 people, 3 humans who checked in on me regularly and cared enough about me to just pick up the phone and make sure that I wasn't ready to fucking hang myself by a noose. And
You had to go with that.
It was Rugrat. I'm sorry. It was Rugrat, Adapt, my fucking brothers, my FaZe brothers, and Keemstar. And Keemstar would call me and tell me, dude, what the fuck are you doing? You're a superstar. You're a genius, and you need to get the fuck up. And you need to show these motherfuckers that they're dumb for doubting you. And everybody wants you back, and everybody wants you to do this. And he would call me a lot with that shit, and that meant the fucking world to me.
Yeah.
And in those moments, and in that moment, Keem's my boy forever. And I always thought that Keem got kind of unfairly like labeled as certain things and just like fucked with. No, maybe not unfairly. He welcomes it and he asks for it. Yes, but
that guy will say whatever he thinks is true as an absolute statement and sway the entire opinion of 8 to 13-year-olds online.
Wait a second, like a news program?
So that's where I'm at. Here's my question.
Like a fucking news program? By the way, I just want to let you know I don't have any beef with him, but I do get all of my news from him. I always like to get right into the news. I love it.
Here's my question. Was he just the original troll?
Also,
hear me out. Because if you don't take anything he says as ever serious in any way, then he just fulfills another trollish role. The mistake people make.
The mistake. The problem is he's reporting on real stuff.
Yeah.
You can't have a half real, half
That's
not
the
hybrid
problem.
about what's
Correct.
believable and what's not.
that kind of zips
news
us right.
people don't do that.
That zips us to like present day YouTube and social media and information sharing. I just feel like if everybody came to the conclusion and kind of agreed, but like all of us agreed that, yeah, you know what, when you watch something on the internet or anywhere for that matter, let's not take it everything at face value and come to our own conclusions and go elsewhere for other perspectives. Like that's how you're supposed to interpret things and digest information is that way. And if you watch something and you watch a 10-second clip and you take that as fact, I feel like that has to be on the individual at some point. Like,
well,
you know what I'm saying? Like it has to be.
It does.
Because it's never going to change.
It does.
It's never going to get any better. If
Well,
anything, if anything, it's going to get worse with fucking AI
You're
and
right. You're right.
and like deep fakes and shit.
Yeah,
Like we got to like really, I don't know. I feel like that should be where the conversation's at rather than fucking Andrew Tate's the worst guy in the world or this Keemstar fucking is awful because half the shit that he says isn't totally 100% accurate, et cetera, et cetera. Like everyone's doing their fucking thing the way that they'll do it and you can say what you want about it, but like I just feel like there's no individual, what's the word? Like responsibility, yeah, accountability, exactly.
But what he's saying,
know what I'm saying?
But what he's saying though is that Keemstar meets people at an age where they're not able to really think for themselves. You know.
So where the fuck are these people's parents? Again,
No,
if
it's
a 13-year-old's consuming fucking information and things online all fucking day, where's their mom and dad? Like, where's that?
They're in
Why?
mom's
Like,
basement.
I genuinely believe this is a whole nother thing, but I genuinely believe it's less of Keemstar's issue and problem and more of their fucking parents.
No, you're right.
Right? Like I really do.
You're right.
Like,
You're right.
I don't know.
And it was a good answer to the question too, and I was genuinely curious.
And another thing too, I know Keem from a different era. He is OG way back Halo days. He would troll. That was his thing. And I won't say what the his little clan team name was because it's insane. But like
well, you should because he
can't
got
say
us
it.
in trouble.
I'm not allowed to
on
say it.
your podcast now. Get somebody else in
No,
trouble.
I can't. I'm gonna get myself in trouble and you guys in trouble.
No,
It's a
that's
really
fine.
gnarly. If you dive deep enough back, you can find it. But they would just go and fuck with people on Halo, and it was like they would grief people and troll people, and like me and my friends who I went to high school with would watch these videos, and he was a legend. And when the SOAR shit, he sent me a copy of Halo 3 signed by Keemstar. Like I was a fan.
Oh,
of
no
him
way.
and his
Okay,
content
okay,
and
okay,
stuff.
okay.
So like that's another thing. I know how this guy operates, and when I have these one-on-one conversations, I tend to judge people if I can, if it's possible, on how they are off camera and not with other people. When I'm sitting down one-on-one with
That's
somebody,
the thing.
and I'm
He's
getting
done a lot
deep-
of. He put him and his brother through hell, and so that was he's never done anything wrong to me. You know what I'm saying, per se. But I think when I look at him through the lens of him being a troll, which he generally is, it makes me.
Well,
feel,
it's obviously fair to say too, when all that shit, people picked a side when the Team 10 Clout gang shit was going on. And Keem's my boy, and he has been for a while. So it's definitely probably fair to say he just didn't like you guys and would use anything that he could and, deliver it in a way that wasn't great.
Yeah, but also the thing about you that I do love and that I hope that I can relate to and continue to channel is that East Coast scumbag is in you. And if you never trip over that bag, bro,
I'll be
and
okay.
instead you trip onto another air mattress for fucking 2 years, you're gonna be okay.
We'll be okay. Yeah, we will be.
It's the first time I've ever seen somebody get called a scumbag and smiled.
Oh, I wear that like a badge of honor. I would not.
Me too.
I would not be from anywhere fucking else, bro.
We're good. We're good. We're good humans. We have good souls. As long as we keep that, you know what I mean? Everything else. Yeah. Scum life. Degenerate. Suck it.
So what do we do now? We just hold our ETH? Or like, what do we do, FaZe Banks?
Oh man.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Thank God for those
Mike,
cash apps that
Mike.
held the table together when that prime toppled so easily.
See when it's not his house? See when it's not his house?
Oh yeah.
That's
You don't
when-
give a
I
fuck.
put my foot
Hey,
on.
wait till you go for real.
I don't think I'll ever go.
Watch him hold himself together by the seams, not wanting to explode for every little thing that you do. And again, he'll make up rules based on how
He's
you
gonna
are.
have the whole like blood splatter expert kit with the little things you put over your shoes and the fucking
magnifying glass.
hazmat.
Oh yeah, all of it, and it's all on camera. He got a camera that can see everyone's moving all the time.
Oh,
Sick
man.
team.
He's taking a shit, zooming in on the Nest camera.
Do when we get to the house? Be honest with me. When we get to the house and you're not there, because I know you get the notifications. Do you sometimes tune in and see?
I only watch when you're doing activities on the couch because I like to look at your face when you're doing them. So I have a video of you trying to solve the Rubik's Cube while watching a video on how to solve a Rubik's Cube. So this is your face. This is your face. You're like this. And there's the computer right here that says, do these exact steps. And this is you. You're like this.
It's hard. It's
I'll show you the video. It's
A lot of
hilarious. I sent it to
algorithms.
my mom and
no,
sisters.
because sometimes not in a weird way, and I understand. When I had cameras at the White Oak house and I wasn't there, sometimes if I found a notification or there was hubbub, I'd be like, "What's going on? What are these people doing?" And I imagine me and Nina in our element, your element that we've commandeered, is pretty entertaining.
Well, at least you had the it didn't work, but you tried to have that rule at the house: no fucking in the common areas.
for this reason.
But
for this
bro,
reason,
there are some Nest videos of me and my ex going crazy on those garage love sacks, bro.
I wouldn't know. I stay away
Love sack,
from.
baby.
Mike love sack.
Yeah.
I wanted everyone to feel comfortable.
Oh, I got real comfortable at your house.
Yeah,
Real comfortable.
I'm getting comfortable at yours,
Ah,
brother.
you motherfucking dirtbag. I gotta watch.
You guys ever tell a story about him coming in with the camera when you first piped?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We talked about it multiple times.
yeah.
And it's the reason why
So
when I bring a
sick.
camera around him now and he's like, no, I don't want to shoot content. I'm with my girlfriend. I go, motherfucker, you're going to eat this bacon, egg, and cheese for my vlog. You filmed me.
To be fair, he kind of linked you with Ergo
Facts.
initially, so he had some.
Bro, I'm so sick of this like by proxy default ownership that he has of everything in my fucking life. I'm sick of it. Oh, you dated Lana? Well, who do you think introduced you
Poor
guys?
Mike, he's on
you
one
may
of
know
these-
this, but I put you in the room with your current girlfriend. So how much fucking ownership do I get of that relationship, buddy?
I'll tell you what you don't get. Your guest bedroom, brother. 'Cause that shit is mine. I think that's all we got, man.
Yeah. What else? Anything else?
No, nothing.
I mean,
we're cruising.
what's going on? Talk to me about the current phase that you're in right now with your life. What are you doing?
We have a big, beautiful, amazing warehouse in
So sick.
Hollywood. It's
So
fucking the
sick.
sickest space. It's everything that I've ever dreamed of having. The
Fantasy
FaZe HQ.
Factory.
It's so sick. I love showing up and doing my little stories. It's FaZe Clan. We just went public. There's nothing else that's really like driving me super right now. Nothing else I'm super excited about. That's why I'm really ultimately grateful. FaZe is the most important thing that's ever happened to me, obviously. It's the first tattoo I ever put on my body.
No way. Cool.
Yeah, this logo will be on my headstone one day,
Yeah.
right? And hopefully it'll live far, far past my own human life. And that's how I feel. I believe it will. So when everything else is kind of boring and fucking lame, FaZe is always there. And it's awesome. So that's kind of what I've been focused on right now. Outside of that, trying to be as healthy and happy and on point as I can be. Just trying to be happy every day, man. No matter the money, it's never really changed. I know it's so cliche, but it's never really changed anything about how I feel. And I don't know. I put how I feel in the moment. I attach the most value to that part of my life. So I'm just trying to be happy for as many seconds, minutes, moments as I can be. That's where I'm at.
Oh, cool,
31,
bro.
family in the future. I don't know.
Sick. Well, it sounds like you're in a good place. So I'm happy for you, man.
And I'm happy you did the show, Richard Banks.
Yeah.
I love
Was it
you,
good?
brother.
I feel like we killed
Come
it.
on,
Yeah, yeah,
bro.
cool.
We did a
Cool.
great
All right,
job,
cool.
bro.
Cool.
Yeah, dude. I appreciate you. Thank you for
I'm happy we're friendly.
Yeah, dude. I'm happy. I'm
I
happy.
love you, Mike.
Love you, bro.
I do owe you a kudos and a thank you for being as mature as you were during the beef era.
course.
Like I actually, you and Jake both on separate occasions said pretty much the same thing to me, where you're like, both you said we can absolutely destroy each other's lives forever and
Yeah.
permanently if we want to. We don't want to do this. trust me.
Kamikaze style.
No, for real, for
Yeah.
real. Like
Nukes.
just no,
Yeah.
no, like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
finger over the red button, and I couldn't see that. I wanted all the smoke with everyone at all times, and so like I did need him to reach out when he didn't have to, and Jake to reach out when he didn't have to, and just be like, "Yo, chill for
Yeah.
a second," because no one can get more dangerous than we can if we want.
And
we don't
Jake and
want
I have
that.
sat down so many different times, and it's just like we always come to the same conclusion. Anytime we have conversations, it's just like in a different universe, we'd be fucking the best of homies. And
Yeah,
like
for sure.
have done like crazy shit together. And
For
like
sure.
we're cut from the same cloth. We have
Also, dude,
a lot of the same
new Jake,
tendencies.
Boxer Jake,
Awesome.
he's the fucking shit.
Awesome,
he's
dude.
the best.
I'm
dude.
so proud of you
He's
guys,
so-
bro.
he's the best.
I'm so proud of you guys. I really do believe that we're all forever characters in this weird little social media game. I think that we'll be here when we're old men.
Yeah.
Bunch of
I
internet
think that-
gangsters.
Yeah, I think that we're in.
Internet
I think that we're in
gangsters.
each other's lives
Peace out.
forever, whether we like it or not. And
Yeah.
it's cool. It's cool.
Appreciate you, bro. Thank you guys for listening, watching, viewing, and subscribing. If you're not subscribed, please hit that button for me. We will see you next time. Take it easy. Peace.